What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great start to your day. I know I am, because there are just so many things going on with the Mets. This offseason has been truly like no other, from the start of the offseason all the way until we're reaching the finishing line with a couple weeks. I don't even believe it's 2 weeks until spring training now, and they are going to get going. But they have a lot of more moves that they are going to make, and Zach Scott, the new GM for the New York Mets, has made that clear yesterday in his presser, explaining that yes, we are not done, and he would like to add some more pieces, and in particular, he stated pitching. So we're going to be talking about the Mets and all the latest news regarding them this offseason, and also breaking down an article that came out late last night from MLB's Mark Feinsand, and breaking down why this is currently connected with the Mets. As you can see here, there could be something brewing with the Mets, and very well could be something that is truly unexpected. So that's what we'll be taking a look at in today's video. So as always, make sure you stay all the way until the end, find all the deets and all my thoughts on all these latest reports, what could very well be the unexpected scenario for the Mets this offseason as we are reaching a close, and everything in between. If you guys do in fact enjoy this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends, put on the notification bell, all those great things. Help us get to 6K subs, guys. We're so close there, so seriously, thank you all so much for the support in advance. But enough of me talking, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, so I want to really take a deep dive into a couple talking points that we saw here in Mark Feinsand's article last night at the time of recording this, because they were very telling that maybe we're going to see something that isn't truly expected from the Mets this offseason, something that we have already seen this offseason that I'll be breaking down in a second. But here through an NL executive, as you see, states the following: I still think the Mets are going to try and do something big. An NL executive said they really want to make a splash and spend some money. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go off the rails and trade for a big name, which led up to the following: they could do something out of the blue. The NL executive said adding that a deal for a controllable starter such as Luis Castillo would make sense for the Mets. So outside of that, I was very excited as soon as I read that, because again, it's an NL executive. It's just other people from other teams within the NL that are really sharing their thoughts. We don't know exactly what team this is from. We don't know if this is from a rival executive, which very well could be the case, or it could be not a rival executive, maybe a team in the NL Central. Whatever it is, I'm very excited to see this for the Mets, because this is something that we have talked about plenty this offseason. Because if you look at what the Mets have done this year in regards to all their moves, a lot of them were for the most part expected, some of them at least. James McCann was reported for a while. Took a while to get that through after initially looked like he signed. It took a couple days still to get everything worked out. Then you look at other guys, and there were some other free agent signs, like Albert Amora Jr., for instance, was expected. The Mets showing interest in him over the past month, and he signs. But a lot of these moves really weren't. And the biggest one that wasn't expected, at least, was never reported actually that the Mets had shown interest until the deal was done, was regarding, yes, Francisco Lindor and Cookie Carrasco. If you guys don't remember, there wasn't any actual connection there, besides Cleveland stating through an SNY article that I originally saw after, as soon as the new regime came in with Steve Cohen and Sandy Alderson, Cleveland was reportedly trying to heavily pursue a deal with the Mets regarding Lindor. But you never saw reports go the other way. At least I haven't. So if you guys have, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But for the most part, there was nothing there outside of strictly hypotheticals with Lindor landing with the Mets. It seemed like a great fit, and it came to fruition, but we didn't see any reports there. So when you're talking about blockbuster deals, and for a second blockbuster to happen this offseason, we've talked about so many. We're talking about the Cubs still, we're talking about the Reds, and the Reds are a hot topic right now, not just because of Sonny Gray and Eugenio Suarez that we have touched on here on the channel numerous times, but Luis Castillo is a guy that I really think is interesting, because he's a guy we have touched on in the past over the past month or so. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure you do to find out all the details about his numbers. But basically a summary on Castillo and his game for you guys that are wondering, that don't necessarily know. I'll just do a quick breakdown for you. If you look at his numbers in the 2020 season, the 28-year-old starting pitcher at 6'2", 200 pounds, originally debuted in the 2017 season because he wasn't actually drafted. In 12 games played and 70 innings pitched, had 4 wins, 6 losses, a 3.21 ERA, 89 strikeouts, a 1.23 WHIP, an 11.44 K per 9, and a 3.09 walks per 9. And throughout his career thus far, in 90 games played and 519.2 innings pitched, has racked up 32 wins, 33 losses, a 3.62 career ERA, 578 strikeouts, and a 1.17 WHIP. Castillo was a stud. He is the ace for the Reds. This is not a surprise for anyone that has been following along this offseason, knows very well about Castillo. So many other people have been talking about Castillo as he would be an amazing fit, but he would cost a lot. This is no surprise. So again, Castillo is not necessarily a guy that I think is very likely, but it is kind of promising to see from this NL executive as an example, that yes, the Mets want to add to this rotation. That was evident with Trevor Bauer as it is. It's been evident with all these other starting pitchers for free agency and the trade market that they have reportedly shown interest in. So I do believe that they're going to be adding playing this rotation either for a number 2 or a number 3 or a 5th star. I'm not going to beat a dead horse there because we've talked about that so many times. I constantly repeat myself. But Castillo, if this is something that happens or something along those lines, it couldn't make us wondering what else would it be. If maybe it's not going to be a Castillo situation, what other options could be out there as maybe a bigger package? Maybe it could be a Matt Chapman. Again, I don't think that's very likely, but at the same time, that is unexpected, right? Granted, we have seen reports out there regarding Chapman. That's why we talked about him. But in regards to Castillo in particular, the Mets have never reportedly shown any interest in Castillo this offseason for the most part. And that very well could be telling that if something gets done, it wouldn't be all that surprising to get the unexpected at the end of the day. So the Mets are weighing all their options. Castillo would be a stud for the Mets. I don't think it's very likely at this point in time. I think when you look at the other options, whether it's a Sonny Gray or even Hendricks to an extent, honestly, in a bigger package with Bryant, I think that those are more realistic at this point in time. But again, that is also me banking things off of what the Mets currently need in this roster, what they would have to give up, and also what's been reported more than anything else. When it comes to Castillo, there's literally been little to nothing there outside of hypotheticals. He's a guy that really you would need to give up a haul in order to pry away from Cincinnati, and for a team that is really up in the air as to what their future is going to be. I'm very curious to see what could happen there, if any. So I just want to share that with you guys. It's a shorter video today, I believe, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about these reports through the NL executive for Mark Feinsand, and what do you expect next for the Mets? Do you think it's going to be a blockbuster deal? Do you think it's going to be a debt move? Do you think, let me know your likelihood of Luis Castillo possibly being dealt this offseason, and what are the chances of the Mets laying him? Let me know some type of proposed trades you guys could come up with, because again, I talked about him plenty. I talked about it in a previous video, so if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do after this one so you really get a further breakdown on Castillo and his game. I really think I did a solid job there for the most part at the time. So thank you all so much again, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below, and let's go Mets.